Hello, my name is Kay. Welcome back to my channel. Grab a little mug, grab a drink, a snack. This is gonna be a little bit more of a chatty video. I made this channel, well, I've had this channel, this YouTube account for years and years, but I made my authortube channel back in 2023, and I posted my first video at that time, and then I took a 2-year break because of some personal life stuff, and then I came back this year. And I just thought, since literally 2 years passed, I thought it might be worth it to give like an update or an introduction or reintroduction to myself as a writer, and maybe talk about some of my projects. My bandana is slipping. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining along. If you're coming back, thank you so much to the people who are still here. Like, it genuinely makes my heart so happy. Thanks for sticking along with me. But this is just gonna be a general update video about who I am. As I said earlier, my name is Kay Ewa. I am 24. I'm a Pisces. I'm a February Pisces, February 19th. Pisces gang. Right. If you wanna know my MBTI, INFP, Enneagram 4. I do feel like I need to retake the MBTI 'cause I feel like I've changed a lot as a person. I do know that I lean more ambivert than introvert. It really depends on the day, how I'm feeling. But yeah, anyway, so let's just get that out of the way for the girlies, for the zodiac and the personality type girlies. As I said, my name is Kay Ewa. It is Nigerian. I am Nigerian myself. I emigrated from Nigeria when I was 11 years ago. Yeah, I'm currently 24. I currently live in Central Florida, and I've been here with my family since we emigrated. So yes, if there are any other Nigerians out there, Niger born and raised, right, yeah. Like most of us on here, I assume I've been reading and writing for a very long time, pretty much since I could read and write. When my family and I immigrated to the US, that was in 8th grade. I kind of fell out of reading and writing for a couple years just because giant culture shock, all of that stuff, moving cross-continental, a lot. But I fell back in love with writing and reading in 10th grade because I read the Lunar Chronicles. I feel like I have just the warm, nostalgic feelings for that whole series. Marissa Meyer, we share a birthday, girl. Thank you for what you did for the nation. But yes, after I read that, I fell headfirst back into the book world, back into writing, and I rediscovered my love and my passion, and the rest is history. I started writing then. The first book I wrote was a YA dystopian, and it was very interesting considering I'm not a very big dystopia reader, but I feel like that made a lot of sense because I was a big Hunger Games Divergent time, but I have a lot of fond memories with that book. And then I wrote fantasy for a while. I tried to query that fantasy book that I wrote in senior year. But it did the job and I learned a lot. And then, as I said, I went to the University of Florida and I studied English. I did a lot of creative writing courses. I don't think you need them to advance in your career or like to write well, but I did do that. And I did a lot of marketing internships, and that's how I ended up in marketing. I feel like the Venn diagram of the marketing girly who's also a creative that loves to read and write is like very damn near a circle. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Outside of reading and writing, I love going to theme parks, I love cooking, I love eating. Outside of reading and writing, I've been trying to cultivate new hobbies because I feel like a lot of my personhood and my personality for so long was just wrapped around the fact that I wanted to be an author and the fact that I love reading, and that is all great and dandy until you start actually getting into the parts of writing that include rejections, and a lot of it feels so personal, and you have to like step aside from that and figure out that who you are as a person is not just your work and your writing. And so this has been a big year for me for stepping out and actually touching grass and going outside and doing other stuff. So I'm trying to cultivate a lot more hobbies. I think that's something I'm going to explore a lot more next year and hopefully document as I find new things to center myself around that don't just involve the book world. Now, as a reader, some of my favorite genres to read are romance, mystery thriller. I actually think those are my two biggest genres, romance and mystery thriller. When I'm in a romance rut and I'm like, I don't really want to read romance, I'm like, give me the sickest psychological thriller you can find. And I'm of the belief that those two things overlap a lot because they're very, not predictable, but there's very much what is it? They're very formulaic in a way, and both romance and mystery thriller, a lot of times you know what the end is, but the journey is really the main appeal of the project or of the book. So I feel like a lot of romance readers would like mystery thriller for that reason, because the reason I don't read as much high fantasy, or if I do read fantasy, it's probably contemporary fantasy. I don't read as much high fantasy because there's not as much of a formula, and I get very anxious and I start to like stress really badly about characters could die, all these things that I'm like, I can't control. I don't know. It's not gonna. It might not have a happily ever after, and then I'm gonna feel sick inside. I still read a lot of high fantasy. Like, I still do, but I predominantly read romance and thriller because I think it helps a lot soothe me when I'm reading for comfort. Those are the genres I go to. I also really love gothic fiction. I don't want to get sidetracked, but I just started thinking about a fantasy book that I really love, and I need more people to jump on this train, please. The Jasmine Throne. Oh, I think that it is one of the best high fantasy books of this age. I really do. I love the way that it examines religion. I love how it examines religion and the misogynistic ties of religion that is still centered around women, and how that can still be used for misogyny. Everything in it, sapphic, everything about, I love that. I mean, I love it. Did it stress me out to hell and back? Yes. But you know what? I ate that shit up. I ate it up. So that's what I mean. Like, I love fantasy. It just takes me longer because I have to be like, oof, I might not know what's happening, but I have to be okay with that. I also feel like, obviously, you are what you love, and so a lot of the genres that I love to write are also romance, mystery thriller, and anything with gothic theming. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about my project after this, but my current book, Letters to Tomorrow, it's the book that I got an agent for, it's the book I'm currently revising, it's the book I hope to be my debut, knock on wood. After that, I have another college set romance in the same university that I hope to be a companion book to that. And after that, I feel like I'm gonna be writing primarily adult, because the two books, the Letters and the book after, are in that young adult crossover sphere. It takes place in college, but I don't envision myself ever writing younger, like ages younger than the ages of the characters in my books, which are 20 and 21. We're gonna start off with the projects that I just recently mentioned, literally Letters and the one right after this. But first, let's start with Letters to Tomorrow. This again is my HBCU set, new adult / young adult crossover contemporary romance. I feel like that was just a mishmash of words right now. I hope that made sense. On my channel, she's also been known as Project Letters and also been known as That Bitch. Yeah. Again, this is the book that recently got me an agent. How would I describe it? It follows my main character, Addie, who is searching for her unknown dad. The only clue she has, a love letter he wrote her mom 20 years ago. And it also follows Elliot, who's a student journalist that is helping her find him and also writing about her search for the HBCU's really esteemed college paper. And it's their little love story. I love them. I love this book. It means a lot to me. And I actually have such funny lore about it because I first wrote it in 2020 and then I abandoned it in 2021 because I was just like, it sucks, I hate it. And that version of the book did suck. I'm gonna give myself some credit there. I'm gonna validate myself there. I picked it back up in 2023 and rewrote it completely, 90% change, and that is where we're at now. 2025, I queried it, I got an agent, and now I'm working on revisions for it. I love this book so much, it means a lot to me, and I hope that one day the world gets to see it. But I feel like I've talked about letters so much that I don't wanna, I have other more exciting not more exciting, but I have other projects I haven't talked about at all that I wanna get into. So let's talk about my projects. Let's talk about the rest of them. So I was talking about the companion book to letters, okay? What I hope will be the companion book to letters. I haven't talked about this on my channel yet, and I'm not gonna talk about it too much now, mainly because I really wanna, once I turn in my revisions for letters and my agent is reading it, I really wanna brainstorm the book and document the process of writing it, just because I think it'll be so fun to look back on. That being said, I've been calling this my Radio Rebel book, okay? Or probably what we're gonna call it, Project Radio, my Radio Rebel meets sex education meets, wait, I have it all written down. Let me find it. Let me read this. Let me read this out because I wrote it all out. It's Radio Rebel meets sex education meets Honey and Spice meets the X Talk. There's a lot of meats, okay? I'm gonna niche that down a little bit when I actually get to brainstorming and outlining it and all of that stuff. But right now, that is Project Radio. What I'm gonna tell you now is it's set in the same university as Atlas. It's Atlas University is the university, but it's set in the same university as Letters to Tomorrow, Project Letters, which is Atlas. And there's a tiny little cameo of Addie and Elliot, that I'm planning. I haven't written it yet, but that's the plan. Yes, but I haven't really done much with the idea yet. I'm gonna fully start brainstorming, outlining it, and all of that in December probably, so you just sit tight. Sit tight. Now, those are the only two ideas that I have in the new adult / young adult crossover space. Everything after this is adult, so let's get into those. Still in romance. We're gonna cover romance first and then go off to the other genre ideas that I have. The next one that I have that is a bit more fleshed out, or that has a more concrete shape in my head, I'm calling Project Grift. Book name that I have for it is really just The Grift, but it is called Project Grift. I don't really know what to comp it as yet. I don't have that part figured out. I have a tagline. I'm not gonna share it yet, but it's essentially just, what is it? I wrote this down. It's my sapphic con artist romance. Yeah, I'm really excited to write it. It's gonna be so fun. Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. The next romance I have is Project Blue, which is my marriage of convenience second chance romance. I feel like it's the proposal meets people we meet on vacation. Yeah. I infamously am not a fan of second chance romance, so I feel like, or rather, I'm not a fan of a lot of the ways that I've read it, a lot of the ways that I've seen it be handled. So this is kind of my take, or like what I hope to be my take on second chance romance, and me writing it in a way that I feel like I as a reader would have enjoyed it, would enjoy that genre more, would enjoy that trope more. But I mean, we'll see when I get there. This one has been brewing for years. I've had this idea since, honestly, maybe like 2018, 2019, something crazy like that, or 2020, something like that, but it's been on the back burner for a couple years. My short pitch is: a Nigerian law student with an expiring visa in America decides to use the knowledge she's acquired to trick the government and secure her stay. That's like essentially base level what the book is about. Obviously, I'm an immigrant myself, so I know so much. I have so much information and just so much knowledge about the immigration process that I was like, let's write about it, because it's a lot. If I'm feeling particularly insane, I might have this set at the same university as Letters, Atlas University, but I don't know yet. I don't know yet. We'll see. Now we are moving out of the romance sphere and we're going into some of my other gothic mystery thriller-ish ideas. The first project idea I have is called Project Air. I'm gonna read this out. This is a gothic murder mystery that I've been comping as These Violet Delights meets The Great Gatsby, but with West African influence. Yeah, that's pretty much all. That's pretty much all I have to share. I have a giant brainstorming dump for this idea, but it's just changed so much over the years that I have too many conflicting things of what it could be. I think I just need to sit, niche it down, and figure out what's going on there. But I have the general idea, general frame of what I want the story to be about. Next one I have is Project Ivy, another gothic murder mystery of sorts, question mark. So I have it as Mexican Gothic meets Taylor Swift's song Ivy from Folklore, I believe it was, or was it Evermore? Evermore, I'm such a fake fan. Evermore is my favorite. Yes, so it's Mexican Gothic meets Taylor Swift's song Ivy. Yeah. And that one doesn't take place in our world. Honestly, that might be the one that I work on next year because I feel like that one has a lot more shape in my head, but we'll see, we'll see. Next one, Project Strawberry. My first note here is big sigh. The story haunts me. It has an identity crisis. I was debating including it here just because oh my gosh, the story is, I started writing it once. It was called Witch Tale, not the real name, but I was just calling it Witch Tale. And I wrote 40,000 words and I was like, this is nothing. So I stopped and I started trying to brainstorm and figure it out. This book was my college thesis. I wrote the first 15 or 20,000 words or something like that for my thesis, for my honors program. And it still is not figured out yet. I don't even know what to describe it as. This one might actually be a YA. That's true because I started writing it as YA. So there we go. But I don't know if it's going to change because part of when I was brainstorming it again recently, because every couple months I'm like, let's try again. I was like, maybe it could be set in college instead of high school where it was initially set, but I don't know yet. But what it initially was the Raven Boys meets the Hazelwood. With a dash of BuzzFeed Unsolved. Plus, two friends who have a podcast together that's all about conspiracies and cryptids, like those types of conspiracies, as they set out to figure out what happened to one of their members when she disappeared for 3 days 6 years ago, especially now that her sister has also disappeared. That's such a rough little thing that I wrote, and I wrote it 2 years ago. 2 years ago? 4 years ago, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. So it's just changed so much, and this is my identity crisis book. It's been so many different things for so many different years to the point where I feel like I've lost the nugget of the idea that I had for it. If I could find it again, I'd love for this to be the book that I work on next year, because at this point I feel like I owe it to old me to finish it, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to figure it out. Maybe I'm going to dedicate just like a whole video to untangling Project Strawberry and making it an outline, making something out of this mess. This last idea is kind of fully just for my friends and I, but I might one day write it on, like, document it on the channel just for fun, just for shits and gigs, but I thought I'd still talk about it regardless. It's called Project Bane. It's my werewolf story. It's my werewolf romantasy. Now, here's the thing. This is how it came about, okay, because I think the backstory is kind of really funny. My friends and I, we live in Central Florida, obviously, so we went to Epic Universe because one of my friends is a team member and she had previews. So we went, and if you don't know, there's a Universal's Monsters themed land in Epic Universe, which, if you don't know what Epic Universe is, it's a Universal theme park, their newest Universal theme park, just recently opened. Yes, so in the Monsters land, essentially, there's a ride that's all about Dr. Victoria Frankenstein, who's the great-granddaughter or the granddaughter or something of Victor Frankenstein, and she has this whole ride about capturing monsters, and it's a whole thing. But when my friends and I went, we kind of fell in love with her. I'm just gonna be honest, she's a beautiful woman. So when we were leaving the park, we just started talking about, like, hey, let's imagine if we wrote a fic about Victoria. Imagine if we wrote a fanfic about Victoria. And then I was like, ooh, what if it's Beauty and the Beast retelling, but the Beast is the main character and the Beast is a werewolf and Victoria is capturing her because she's a monster hunter or something like that. And yeah, and that is how it came about. So Project Brain is my Victoria Frankenstein fic, except it's not, Victoria herself is not in it because I don't want Universal to sue me in case this ever goes anywhere. But that was how she inspired the story, okay? So yeah, this one is really just for fun. I think it's gonna be the book, the idea that I go back to and I write when I need to take a break from writing projects that I hope to one day publish, to just writing something for me and my friends, and you know, maybe I'll share it one day just for fun. I don't know. I really don't know. I have no plans there. It's all up in the wind, but it's really fun. Okay, that was it. Those were all of my projects. It was a lot. Thank you so much for listening. I am really excited to be back on YouTube, as I've said, and to be creating content again, and just to be documenting the process and making friends. Really, the whole reason that I started this channel was to get in touch with the writing community, because I feel like writing can be so lonely. So, and I also love the act of editing. I really enjoy editing videos, so it's kind of fun for me. It's just a fun little hobby. But yeah, if you are discovering this channel for the first time, or you're an older watcher, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you would like to follow along my journey of hopeful publication, all of that, then feel free to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. It really helps a girl out. And yeah, that's about it. I am hoping to pivot my content. It feels so weird to say that. I'm hoping to pivot my videos a little bit more, and not just, I love watching writing vlogs. I think that they're very fun, but I also love informational videos and just videos talking about process and the technique and craft of writing. So I'm hoping to create a little bit more of those, and I don't know, and not have to, especially because my weeks are so boring. Sometimes I just don't have a lot going on except sitting on my computer click-clacking. So I'm kind of leaning more towards doing longer form monthly vlogs with a specific goal in mind, or vlogs that just in general have a specific goal in mind, and then in between having more fun chit chat, craft videos, or whatever else may come my way. I don't know, maybe we're gonna talk about reading. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what are some of your projects down below, what you're working on. If you want to follow me along on any other platforms, they are all linked in the link tree down below. Pretty much all from me. Thank you. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Cheers.